Why do you think that solar has remained so fragmented for so long?
Well,
Now, one thing that we see in solar that I don't think we see as much in some of the other home improvement trades is this idea of the dealer EPC model right now. What's going to make their business the most attractive for a potential buyer? When do you think, hey, maybe this is a time when you should start thinking about selling your business, you know? Okay. So, all right, let's take it one step at a time then. So, first off, again, where our sort of connection started was we were talking about why many businesses are going to be failing in the current environment. And we talked about things like rising interest rates, rising financing fees. But another thing we talked about is the fact that many solar businesses don't have sound accounting practices. And so many of the businesses that may think they're doing well, if all they've known is a constant growth environment, many of these businesses may be on shaky ground, or many of them may actually be losing money at the end of the day once proper accounting principles are applied. So let's start there. Why is it so important to have proper accounting principles and practices for a successful solar business, or for any successful business?
For any business. So it's very similar. If even for the people who are watching or who aren't in the business, if you have to get a loan from the bank, what the bank makes you have to go through. They want to know that if you can't pay off your loan, that they're going to have some kind of security that's going to back that up. So for a business, if you don't have a lot of equipment as security or real estate, then your security is your earnings. And so let's face it, it can be fairly easy to play around with your books. So it doesn't matter what kind of business I'm selling. The first thing that I'm interested, I will get, because I'm going to work with the owner in deciding or creating the valuation for them, the value of their company. It starts with, what's your tax return showing? What's your top line that you're paying the government? What's the profit for the government? And then we're also getting another set of books, which is your profit and loss. The profit and loss is your internal books. What's really happening? So you got what you report to the government and what your profit and loss is. Ideally, they're pretty darn close. That would make it a lot easier. So, it's smaller businesses are using fairly commoditized CPAs, and that's fine. But at a certain point, when you need to actually borrow money, you need higher level everything. Everything's going to be scrutinized more. So I tell them, get your books clean. It might take a year to get this done. It might take $20,000 or $30,000. Nobody likes to hear that. But having clean books is going to give you a really accurate sense of what your business is really doing, and pull no punches. I mean, if I go to the doctor, I don't want him to pull punches and say, well, it'd be nice if your blood pressure was lower, but you're really going to probably die next year. You don't want that to happen. You want to be told the truth, because then you can actually take action now and hopefully get your health back together. It's the same for a business. It's a very good parallel, actually.
Yeah. Well, I know that, and that's probably something that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. Most solar businesses, we were just talking about this earlier, most solar businesses are small, family-owned, starts out couple guys in a pickup truck, usually some tools, and they start a solar company. They start doing solar jobs, and then they kind of grow from there. And so, because I can even remember back when I started as a contractor, there's this feeling of, well, I can't really afford the best lawyer right now. I can't really afford the best accountant right now. I got to just kind of get something going. What do you think is the proper stage for the contractor to take a step back and say, okay, the business is a real business now. Now it's time to actually get proper accounting practices in place. It was great during the startup phase that you kind of fumbled through things maybe on your own, or with the help of a low cost, maybe a friend of a friend type of thing, accountant helps you out. At what point, though, is it proper to go to real professional accounting in your contracting business?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I don't know the exact number, whether it's when you're making $1 million or $1.5 million, but that investment is going to pay off in multiples for you, not only just because you're going to get a more accurate picture of really what your business is doing, but it'll make your business more valuable when you sell it, for sure. So I'm going to say a good accounting firm, I just go out and interview some. I'm just going to say that. Your whole life, you've been building this great business. And kind of what our role is as, I'll call myself a business broker or a mergers and acquisitions advisor or consultant, is going in, and because we have contacts with people everywhere from the wealth advisors for when you do cash out and you're hopefully making a lot of money and what to do with your money. We got tax accountants that we're referring to help you, be the most efficient as you possibly can when it's time to pay the government, but also lawyers that are specialized, just like you're specialized in running your business. These are specialists in what they do for either exiting a business, running a business, and they're worth paying. Whenever I go into a business owner, I say, look, you're the quarterback. All these guys, they're your offensive line. They're protecting you from getting slammed in the back at some point. So it's worth paying for a good, left side tackle, because that's where they're going to come and get you. So that tackle might be your corporate lawyer who's going to help you, come up with the right contracts and warranties and scrutinize all that stuff. But your tax people and the team that's going through your books, QuickBooks or whatever you're using, they're worth paying that $5,000 or $10,000 a year for a smaller business, because you're just going to get a much clearer picture of what your business is doing and where you can go. You're probably going to, these are advisors. These are advisors that say, hey, can I buy another company? Hey, what should I do to shelter some of my money from having to pay the government? Should I buy a bunch of equipment? At some point, you can let go and let true professionals help you make those good decisions, because a business owner can't be, great at everything. So learn where your weaknesses are and hire a pro, because that's what they went to school for, and hopefully have 10 or 15 years experience under their belt.